Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece Chapter 885. And right off the bat, I'm sorry this one's late, guys. The thing is that my manga app has been kind of on and off lately. It's my manga app kind of has been the curators of my manga app, or the source in general used on the manga app, has been kind of iffy. Like they've been they haven't been updating certain manga chapters, and One Piece was one of them this week. Like it didn't update until today, to be honest, but either late last night or today. So it's like, and I was already in bed by then. So yeah, it's like yeah, but yeah. Other than that, let's just get into this chapter. And I guess the first thing to talk about is to say right off the bat that One Piece is going to be on break next week. So, but honestly, I'm completely cool with that because One Piece is just too good, and like as far as I'm concerned, like One Piece is one of those series that where the phrase "you can't rush perfection" really applies here. And yeah, you just can't rush perfection. Oda is a master worker. I know he's probably planning something even on his break. So yeah. But anyway, aside from that, I think right off the bat about this chapter, I think we need to appreciate the significance of what Luffy did in this chapter. He ran away from a fight, but he did it for a reason. He realized that he couldn't stand the chance against Katakuri unless he was in Gear 4, so he ran away to stall for time to replenish his hockey reserves, which to me once again shows character development, as he learned from his fight with Doflamingo that overexerting himself with the technique can leave him even more vulnerable than he is now. And but now having said that, it does now having said that, it does kind of seem like it does kind of seem right off the bat that this fight is kind of over. Now, having said that, with the way that Luffy escaped and whatnot, it does almost look like his fight with Katakuri on the surface might be over. Like, which I guess on one hand you could look at it from two perspectives. Which on one hand, yeah, maybe the fight did end a little early and we were expecting more, but on the other hand, I can't get mad at it because the scenario in which the scenario in which Luffy was fighting Katakuri is that I'm pretty sure he was only fighting Katakuri with the intention of giving his crewmates time to escape. I don't think Luffy actually intended on beating Katakuri. I think he only wanted to stall him. So if that is pretty much the case, then yeah, the fight definitely is over, and I can't be too mad at it only because of the purpose. So yeah, it's one of those things where yeah, it might seem like it might seem a little early for the fight to be over, but if it is, I can't be too mad at it. Basically for Luffy's reasons for initiating the fight to begin with, it was really only to stall Katakuri. So yeah. Now, granted, in this particular case, it did. Now, granted, it did still turn. Even though the fight with Katakuri is over, it did still turn into one of those out of the frying pan and into the fire situations. Because even though Luffy managed to escape Brûlé in typical fashion, he ended up transported smack dab in the middle of an even bigger mess of trouble, aka Big Mom's rampage. And the way Luffy's escaping is and the way that Luffy is escaping the island pretty much is turning out slightly different than how I predicted, but with One Piece I've learned that anything can happen in the story and that it's basically impossible to predict. You just have to make all you can really do is make theories as to what Oda's gonna plan out. So yeah, but yeah, with like Luffy, all I'm gonna say is get your butt out of there, dude. You are in some serious trouble. Like it really is kind of one of those situations where yeah, Luffy, you need to get the hell out of Dodge, son. You are way too fucking. You need to get the hell out of. You need to get the hell out of there, dude. You are in so much trouble. You're in so much trouble right now, and yeah, with Big Mom and the Big Mom pirates down on him, he's gonna have a little bit of trouble escaping. Um, but also by the end of the chapter, it's revealed that the cake is nearly finished and ready to go. Which, on one hand, I'm glad we're finally moving away from seeing the cake preparation, actually moving forward with feeding it to Big Mom. But I guess I get the feeling that in itself, that in itself, like feeding the cake to Big Mom in itself, will still take a couple of chapters because we know how Oda works. The man is extremely thorough with every aspect of his story, and we know and the story. And but having said that, even though like it might be a little tedious in going through each chapter with having to deal with the cake all this time, I as weird as it sounds, I am curious to see about that Sim Sim whipped cream and the effect it's gonna have on Big Mom, because obviously it's one of the new Kama recipes he learned, so that Sanji learned on the island of hell, as he put it. So I wonder what kind of effect it's gonna have on Big Mom. I mean, on one hand, I wonder what kind of effect it's gonna have on Big Mom, because either I know it's a sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. But yeah, I'm curious about the effect it's gonna have on Big Mom because um, I I really hate to put all this image in your guys' heads. I know you can scorn me for it later, but considering how considering the considering the images that considering considering how good apparently Nukama Kenpo Nukama recipes are and how tasteful they are, it would actually be kind of hilarious, but also very disturbing if when Big Mom tastes the cake with if when Big Mom tastes the cake with the whipped cream on it, she actually went into a food war. She would actually go into a food war style orgasm, food war style foodgasm or whatnot. Yeah, I know it's. I know. I'm sorry I put that image in your heads, guys, but it's just kind of. It would be so fucking hilarious and funny if that would happen. If Big Mom, like I said, it would be disturbing as fuck, but it would also be hilarious as fuck. If when she eats the cake, she ends up going into a food war style foodgasm. Like that would be just hilarious, to be honest with you. But yeah, I've already put that image in your guys' heads. I won't do it anymore. But yeah, let's move on from that. Um, so another thing in this episode is that Big Mom's crew are headed out to sea, and it's not just to hunt the Straw Hats, but also the Sun Pirates as well. But this does make me curious as to how the sea slugs are going to be used, because the order was given out to destroy the sea slugs, the Sun Pirates, and the Straw Hat Pirates. So the Big Mom Pirates have three targets, but with Praline controlling the sea slugs, I imagine they won't be as easy as they think it will, because when you factor in that fishmen are even more powerful when fighting in the sea, plus the ability the sea slugs have to stop the ships, I'm I'm kind of thinking the way it's being set up right now, and I know I've had a lot of bunk theories right now when it comes to One Piece, but the way this whole setup is right now, I imagine what they're doing, what the Sun Pirates are planning to do is they're planning to use the Sea Slugs in order to stop the ships, and then rather than actually fight the crew themselves, the Sun Pirates are actually going to sink the ships themselves. It would actually play very nicely if they did that, because if you think about it, it is playing back to something we have seen in the Arlong Arlong arc, or I think, yeah, Arlong arc, and basically just any time we've seen fishmen, which is that fishmen that definitely when fishmen are fighting in the sea, that they like to take advantage of certain, I think it's wave patterns and whatnot, in order to sink ships. So in a way, if I think that is most likely what's going to happen, because it would play in basically into how fishmen love to fight and how fishmen fight. To be honest with you, but but yeah, and what more can I say? This chapter was definitely interesting to say the least, and like I guess right now the biggest thing I'm really interested in finding out is how the fuck Luffy's gonna manage to reunite with his crew, because he has Big Mom Pirates and the freaking he's the Big Mom Pirates and Big Mom herself on his tail, and well I mean, obviously, this is probably going to lead into a collision course with Sanji and with Sanji. So I think it's probably going to be one of those things where he meets up with Sanji he meets up with Sanji on Cacao. He meets up with Sanji putting on Chiffon, and they're probably gonna escape together. I imagine that's how it's gonna work. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. That's Matt of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.